how I saved $20 on my Whole Foods grocery haul. Welcome back to The Next Bite. I really should say welcome to. This is one of the first episodes of the rebrand of my podcast. So thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited. And one of the topics I speak with my nutrition clients about all the time is appropriately spending money on groceries and meal prep companies. And today we're talking about saving money buying quality groceries at Whole Foods.
You're listening to The Next Bite, a food and fitness podcast hosted by yours truly, Danye Phillips. For nearly a decade, I've helped hundreds of women conquer their struggles around food and exercise. With a little bit of science,
creamy, salty, sweet, and oaky nuttiness. You detect that?
And humor.
Oh, I'm detecting nuttiness.
Close your eyes.
I'm here to break down nutrition one bite at a time so that you can take one more daily struggle off your plate. Now, I know you're short on time, so in each episode, I'll help you navigate conflicting diet trends.
Everybody says flavor's so important, and it is, but texture matters more.
Confusing food labels.
No! Spit that out right now!
And crazy health claims that bombard your brain daily.
MSG, the king of flavor.
I'm gonna nerd out about the research so that you don't have to, and I'll be able to guide you in deciphering what's optimal versus what's your best option that's available to you in that moment.
Jonesing for a cupcake, and I was having a mild pregnancy tantrum that I could not get a cupcake even though I owned a cupcake shop.
If you're wondering why the world is constantly talking about protein and macros,
give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
Or just trying to answer the never-ending question, what's for dinner?
Started making it, had a breakdown, bon appetit.
You're in the right place. Are you ready? Let's go find your next bite.
So let's start off with this question. Can you raise your hand if you're on a budget? Because all hands raised, including mine, right? Like, yes. Okay, good. If you're anything like me, you enjoy good food. And not that I'm saying good food only comes from Whole Foods. That's not what I'm saying here. But I think we can recognize that good food, healthy whole foods can often come at a price, right? And you've probably heard the saying, whole foods equals whole paycheck. This can totally be true if you don't have the tips and tricks and strategies for sticking to your food budget. Yes, there is such a thing as a food budget, and no, mine's not perfect, but I do have some guidelines that I stick to. So this is where I come in to help. I want to purchase and eat really wonderful foods, and I want to stick with my budget. If you don't know what your food budget is, then I encourage you to download my free food budget worksheet. I will put the link in the show notes for you. And real quick, this worksheet walks you through how to take your monthly income and determine your food budget down to how much you want to spend per meal or per snack on a single day. If you don't have a food budget and you know you need one, then this is a great resource for you to get started. I've definitely been in seasons of life where I did not pay attention to how much money I spent on food. I'm not currently in that season. I'm currently very aware of how much I spend on my food. And if you've ever moved or had a job change that affected your household income in some way, shape, or form, or perhaps you've added a person to your family, you know how quickly your budget can shift for the items you want versus the items you need, right? So I've done some price comparisons between Whole Foods and Brookshires and Aldi, and there is no comparison, you guys. Whole Foods is the priciest option. And to be more cost effective for my household, I've spent more of my grocery shopping time at Aldi and Brookshires since I did that comparison. However, I still enjoy Whole Foods specialty items, and I do feel like I receive higher quality items from there in many cases. Again, not all, but many. If you want to listen to the price comparison episode, then I will have it linked in the show notes. I think it's episode 272. So what are the strategies to saving money at Whole Foods? My strategy for this grocery haul was simple. Number one, stick with my grocery list, right? It should be easy, but I know it's not. And then number two, shop the sales. That's it. I'm going to dive in a little deeper, right? Now, in order to gain access to these sales, I did use my Amazon Prime code. So that I think is necessary for most of these sales. So just be aware. I think most of us probably have an Amazon account, but I understand that's not everybody's cup of tea. So you do you. Now that we're ready to dive a little deeper into shopping the sales at Whole Foods, I want y'all to hear actual examples. Not everything I purchased today was on sale, but most items were on sale. First, I headed to the butcher section. On Sundays, I tend to notice more meat options that have a buy today 50% off sticker on them. So I purchased 1 pound of ground chicken breast that was originally $7.99 for $3.99. Also from the butcher section was 90-10 lean to fat ratio ground beef. This item wasn't on sale, but it did have a low price sticker on it, which caught my attention. A note here is that the 80-20 ground beef right below the 90-10 was $5.99, so $1 cheaper for a fattier option. I do want to encourage you to purchase based on what you want to put in your body, not based on price. And depending on what you're cooking, what you're making, you can cook out the fat and really like rinse most of it off and drain that out. So there can be some change in there. But just because a protein source is cheaper doesn't mean it's the most optimal option for you. If you're being intentional about preparing high protein meals, then I do encourage you to spend the extra dollar for the leaner ground beef so there's less for you to think about. Next, I went into the produce section and found a 50% off sticker on some sesame stir-fry veggies, which were originally $6.99, and I bought them for $3.49. Right next to the veggie kits, I found a container of pre-cut berries that had a 50% off sticker on it. This container of berries would have been $14.40, and I paid $7.20 for it. Pre-cut fruit can be pricey, and oftentimes I do buy it at full price to save me time when it comes to meal prepping. But this was a great deal. And y'all, I see this at other grocery stores as well. Like pre-cut fruit is expensive no matter where you buy it from. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. Also in the fruit section, I bought a 50% off freshly squeezed orange juice for $3.49 instead of $6.99. I was sipping on it while I was typing the outline for this podcast. So you can have that whenever. Now, a staple in my household is protein shakes, and I like to switch up the brands I use for protein source variety. I like to have a protein shake that contains 20 to 30 grams of protein in it. So that was my focus here. It's common to find a pack of 4 protein shakes for anywhere between $8 and $12. From Whole Foods, I generally like to buy the 16-ounce bottles of Orgain brand organic protein. Today, those individual bottles were $3.99 for 26 grams of protein. The OWYN, or Only What You Eat brand, it had bottles on sale, 2 for $5.40, but they only had 20 grams of protein in them. OWYN also had a 4-pack on sale for $7.19 with 32 grams of protein per drink. Those were regularly $8.99. Lowest price, highest amount of protein, won in this case. I do enjoy some chocolate, whether I'm baking or making pancakes, so I skimmed the chocolate section in the baking aisle. One of my favorite brands for a sugar alternative is Lily's, which carries options sweetened with stevia. Y'all, so good. If you're expecting it to taste like something sweetened with sugar, it will taste different, but it is a really lovely sweetness. So today I ended up purchasing the 365 Whole Foods brand of sugar-free chocolate chips, as it was about $1 cheaper than the other brands. So sometimes I am looking for just what's the best deal of the day. Last but not least, I bought grapeseed oil as an alternative to lotion. My esthetician actually recently told me that grapeseed oil is great for your skin if you have rashes or just need a little topical healing or calming, so extra winning there. This bottle was $2.78 instead of $3.89. There were a couple of other items I purchased that were not on sale, but in total, my savings were $21.11 before taxes, and this felt like a very successful haul. If you have a food budget hacks that you want to share, then please head over to my Instagram. I'm at Danye Phillips, DanyephiLlips, and find the post related to this podcast episode to put your thoughts down. I hope you guys found this episode helpful. And again, don't forget to grab your free food budget worksheet in the show notes below this episode. If you love this content focused on food budgeting and you want more of it, then please reach out to me and let me know. Your feedback and reviews are what helps to keep this podcast up and running. So thank you in advance for your honest thoughts, ratings, and reviews. And until we meet again, I want you to enjoy your next bite. And I am currently sitting in the conference room next door to the gym, and I'm hosting a nutrition workshop called Mocktails and Macros in about 20 minutes. So I'm very excited. Everything's kind of pre-prepped. So I had a few minutes to spare. I wanted to record this podcast, but if you want more information on workshops or the workshop replays, then definitely check out my Instagram and my website, DanyPhillips.com, for upcoming workshop dates and times. That's it for now, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye.
This podcast is supported by the work I do as a nutrition coach. You just heard me mention workshop information. The upcoming workshops at this point in time are going to be November 23rd at Club Pilates in Bossier City, Louisiana. And that will be free to members. So definitely check that out. I want to say it's around 2 or 2:30 p.m. And then in December, I have a workshop on Saturday, December 7th from noon to 1:30, and Wednesday, December 11th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. So again, if you want more details on that, head to my website, head to my Instagram, or click the link in the show notes to get on my email list where I will be sending out most of the details. So I can't wait to see you guys there, and enjoy your next bite. That's it for today's bite-sized insights. If you found value in today's episode, please share it with a friend who has mentioned the topic of today's chat and help spread the word. Thank you for your ratings, reviews, and support. They mean the world to me, and they are what help me to continue creating this show. Until next time, I hope you enjoy your next bite.
If you are what you eat, then I only want to eat the good stuff.